Hello everybody, and welcome to my Legacy Console Edition Forever World tour video. I decided to make this a separate video from the weight loss journey daily video diary, whatever you want to call it. I don't know really what to call it. So if you've seen that video already and you were more interested in taking a look at this world with me, then this is the video for that. And if you're watching this without having any clue who I am or what the goal of this channel is, then maybe go ahead and check out the other videos that I have, huh? No, but seriously, this is this is my what everybody would be calling online my forever world. I started this world back in December of 2024. That means that I've been playing on this world for a little over a year now. A little bit of a fair warning, this world does not look like it's been played in for over a year. It really doesn't have a whole lot of progress. I'm returning to this world after around 6 months of not playing. Maybe a little bit shorter than that, but around 6 months it's been since I last loaded up this world and really played on it. So, yeah, this is kind of also going to serve as a recap for myself too. And yeah, let's get started with the tour. So first and foremost, my spawn point is over in that direction. It's not very far from here at all. In fact, I had spawned kind of high up, like on one of these cliffs, and I just kind of walked in this direction and found this village within a couple of minutes. And yeah, I kind of walked through this area and went over there. You can see my house in the distance. You can see a tree that I built as well. We'll go over there and take a closer look at everything. But yeah, I traveled in that direction, and I decided to settle over there. So obviously there were more buildings here in the village at one point, but I tore some of those down. And ooh, scary cave noise. Down here, I've got my villager trading hall, or a very, very crude version of that. And I'll go a little bit more into detail about how villagers work in this version a little later. We'll talk about that. But for now, this is what it looks like in here. This is not the permanent situation I plan to have them in, but that's what we have for now. And if we go ahead and walk over here towards the brunt of what I've built and what I've done in this world so far, we've got plenty of sweet berries around the area. But yeah, you can see over here I've been I got started with trying to terraform the area. And, I've made some decent little bits of progress, but obviously there's a lot of detailing that needs to be done. I can't just leave it like this. Obviously this looks a little weird, and obviously the goal isn't to leave it like that, but that's just kind of how I left it for the time being. It is what it is, right? But yeah, I do plan on playing this world obviously a lot more moving forward, so we should start seeing more progress around here. Over here I've got my trusty pets. I've got 3 dogs and 4 cats. 3 of them are black cats. I don't know why. I decided to do that. I think I just tame black cats whenever I see them, because I love black cats. That might have something to do with Spider-Man being one of my favorite superheroes, but who knows. And then we've got the jelly cat, or at least I think this is the jelly cat. Right here I've got my humble little sheep farm. Nothing too crazy. Let me go ahead and get up this way. I don't really have a convenient way to get up here yet, unfortunately. It's a lot of work in progress around this whole area, as you might be able to tell. But I've got like a little, I don't even know what to call this, but a vine farm, so to speak. I just grabbed some shears, and it looks like I actually harvested some vines somewhat recently. Moving on, I've got my house here, which this is a design that I've had kind of lying around for a couple of years now, actually. I built it in modern Minecraft where there's a little bit more variety with the blocks available, obviously, but I translated it to this version 1.14. And so obviously there are some blocks missing that I would otherwise be using in this build, but for the most part it's translated pretty well. Namely, for example, I actually swapped out what the original build had was a lot of spruce for the trim. That was all swapped out for dark oak, and there's a good reason for that. It has to do with how the blocks, the shade of stripped spruce wood versus the planks don't really match up in this version like they would, say, in Java or Bedrock Edition. So I went ahead and did dark oak instead because it seems to match a little bit better here overall. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick walk around here. I do have plans to have either like a windmill or something else right around this area. The chimney was originally deep slate, but obviously that can't happen here in this version, so I swapped that out. On the side here, I got kind of lazy with the decorations. It's just some leaves and some flowers and that kind of thing. Obviously, I will throw some more stuff down here, but I haven't gotten to that yet. On this side over here, you can see I have a pretty nice view in the back here. It's pretty cool. I do have some plans for this area, but I won't go into too much detail about that yet because it's not like a fully formulated plan anyway. But it does look very nice around here. So here's the back of the house. Kind of more of the same decoration choices as you can see here. Still nothing on the ground yet. This house is definitely still a work in progress. It's not 100% done yet. It's just really the outside of it that is 80% or so done. This cliffside right here, obviously, I am going to tear this kind of back more going that way because it's just kind of like a harsh wall right here, which is not what I really want. But if we go ahead and walk in here, we can see, right at the entryway, we've got our little jukebox, little chest here, an armor stand. There will be some armor here in the future. We've got a crafting table up here, a little more storage, a nice painting, some nice decoration. We've got a staircase to the second floor right here. We just go up this way, but I'll show you guys that in a sec because it's actually empty. I haven't really done anything with that yet. Yeah, there's more decor right here. There's a stone cutter hidden behind here. If we come into here, this is the kitchen and dining room area that I've built. There's a little more variety in the decoration of this place in the, I guess, modern version of Minecraft. Obviously, there's less variety to work with, so I just did the best that I could. Yeah, we've got like a little sink over here. I guess I forgot to put water in here. Maybe I could just do that real quick. There we go. Maybe I shouldn't have water in there. I don't know. I'll leave it though for now. We've got our, I guess, cooking array right here. Blast furnaces, smokers, regular furnaces, whatever you need, right? Got a nice little light fixture up here. Something with, I guess, a low footprint on the space, since this is kind of a low roof for having a decent sized chandelier. We've got our cake over here, and our table with 4 chairs in case you have guests over. You could all sit and have a nice time around the dining room table with your hot cocoa or whatever that is there. And yeah, that's the first floor. So if we were to go ahead and go up here, you'll see that everything is empty. Nothing's been done here yet. And that's just simply a combination of laziness and not having some of the stuff that I want for this second floor area. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here now. I can kind of show you what else is going on around here. We've got a farm here. We've got some chickens, some cows. I don't have pigs because they're kind of useless here, except if you just want food. But if you want food, you just use cows, right? So yeah, I don't really use pigs. But if we go ahead and go down the little pathway I have here, this obviously will be fully decorated and naturefied, for a lack of a better term, in the future. Yeah, you can get access to any portion of the farm that you need just by walking around this whole area. You can see over here we have some wheat. Over here I've got my potatoes. Technoblade wouldn't really be proud of this farm, I would say, but it's my humble little farm, right? And we've got beetroot over here for the people who want a lot of red dye for whatever reason. Go around over here, we've got the pumpkin farm. Nothing too special, just a small couple of lines of pumpkins. Right here we've got carrots. And over here we've got watermelon. And if you go this way, this just wraps back around to where the chickens are at. I guess the next area I could show you is a little bit of an underground area. It's like right over there. You can see it from here. That stone brick and that little bit of water there. Okay, so if we go down here, swim down real quick, we've got like a little nook down here. Spooky cave noise not included. And up there is a zombie spawner that I had found. So I've been using this to get XP early on. I haven't really been here in a while though. Since I have villagers that I trade with now, that's pretty much how I got the majority of the levels that I have. You can see here I've got a decent little selection of books. I have some mending books, spare mending books from trading with villagers. I have a Prot 4 book there. Some different drops. Random armor, that kind of thing. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Protection 1, Projectile Protection 4. That's kind of a funny glitch that can happen in this version. Where there's like either conflicting or duplicate enchantments on armor from mob drops. Protection 1, Projectile Protection 4, that kind of thing. Protection 3. I think I have one somewhere that's like 2 Protection 3s or 2 Protection 2s, something like that. Oh, here we go. Protection 3 and then Protection 2. Oh my gosh, these guys are making a racket. Get out of here. Alright, and obviously this is where I would enchant. I have a trident here. I haven't really done what I want to do with that yet, so it sits here for the time being. And yeah, if we head back up, there's honestly not much else to show you. There is that big tree that I've built, and believe it or not, I don't have a whole lot of experience of building custom trees. This is kind of a first for me. Barring like some feeble attempts when I was maybe like 13 or 14 years old.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. Goodbye. So I'm pretty proud of this, and yes, I do plan on adding leaves at some point. I just haven't done that yet. I'm thinking that'll probably be a while before I take care of that. For now, it'll just look like a withered tree, I guess. Something interesting about this world is that I decided very early on that I didn't want to just immediately jump in and speedrun the game, so to speak. I wanted to take my time with it, because I feel like I kind of get stuck in a loop pretty easily with Minecraft. where I just kind of max out everything as quickly as possible. I get to the nether quickly, I go to the end, get my elytra, you know, all that fun stuff. I wanted to savor my progress in this world, so, you know, actually enjoy building and just kind of playing the game at my own pace, because given my normal habits with this game, I would just kind of live in a hole somewhere and then just get my elytra and stuff and never really do any like building, or not much building. So yeah, that's kind of what the whole goal of this world is just to kind of take things slow and enjoy myself more, which I think personally the PS4 Legacy Console Edition, or really any Legacy Console Edition, is perfect for that sort of play style. With a limited world size and, you know, limited capabilities that these versions have, it kind of forces you to be a little bit more creative about resource gathering and, you know, building and just playing the game. You know, when we were kids, we didn't really, I say we, I mean, like, you know, people around my age and really even kids of today, you'll find that a lot of them don't really focus on just beating the game super quickly and having all the best gear and all that stuff right off the bat. They just want to have fun and they kind of mess around. Maybe they play with some friends. But, you know, going to the end and slaying the Ender Dragon is one of the very last things on their mind and on the one of the last things on their to-do list. So I kind of wanted to emulate that feeling with a version of the game, or a platform of the game, that I have a lot of nostalgia for overall and a lot of love for. I played Minecraft in the browser like version of the game, classic Minecraft, way back when the game was in its infancy. And of course, you know, I continued to play it like through alpha and such. In dev, oh my gosh, I did not light this whole area up. That is sketchy. Maybe I should go ahead and do that. That was a terrible shot. There we go. Yeah, I played Minecraft initially on PC for a long time. And then, due to circumstances that I won't really go into detail about in this video, I no longer at some point had access to a reliable PC that could play games. So instead, at some point, I ended up learning about the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft, which had been released maybe like a year prior to me learning about it or so. And I remember taking the trip to GameStop and picking myself up a copy with my allowance money. $20. That was a lot of money to me back then. But one of the best purchases I have ever made, honestly. 10 out of 10, no notes. I spent so many hours playing this game. The thing about that too is that on that Xbox, I did not have any internet access whatsoever. I wasn't allowed to connect it to the internet. So I just played on the standard disc release that just came on the disc, right? I think it would probably be like TU13 or TU10 title update, which would be not long after what is essentially version 1.0 in Java edition. Adding the stronghold, you know, the Ender Dragon, all that stuff. And I'll tell you what, like I said, even though I didn't really have the most up-to-date version of Minecraft or the most technically advanced, I still had so much fun playing that version. I would play for hours and hours and hours every day. and just build all sorts of random stuff or mess around in the game or just do whatever, right? Yeah, those are some... I have some really fond memories of Legacy Console Edition. And at some point, I did end up moving out of that particular house that I was in. And I had access to a PS3 and then soon after a PS4, so I started playing Legacy Console Edition on PS4. And of course, back then it wasn't even called Legacy Console Edition, it was just called PlayStation 4 Edition or Xbox 360 Edition or whatever, right? I enjoyed having access to stuff like Amplified Worlds and being able to update the game finally after a very long time, because mind you, I still didn't really have a way to play on PC. And I would watch YouTube videos a lot. I would watch all sorts of Let's Plays and other Minecraft videos. Names that you're probably familiar with, you know, Stampy Longhead, Dan TDM. Let's see here. I did watch some Yogscast and even like Sea Nanners and who else? King Daddy DMAC. I remember watching his Let's Play. But I would also watch other people like BigStar123. I'm sure you've heard of him, or Ali A on his More Ali A channel back in the day when he just did Minecraft. So yeah, you could say I've kind of lived and breathed this game for well over a decade of my life at this point. Oh, and by the way, down this way, I had gone mining in that general direction, and I had found an abandoned mine shaft. Something interesting about that mine shaft, actually. I was looking around in the chests, the minecart chests, and all of them were empty. I don't know if like something happened and like some of the data got corrupted or what, but that was interesting. I really don't know what happened with that, but I knew the general coordinates of my little underground quarry that you see here, so I just kind of dug a tunnel out towards this way. I've used this area just to kind of collect stone and other, you know, adjacent materials for building, because especially for terraforming, you need a lot of stone and a lot of dirt and all sorts of materials, right? So this has been useful so far. I kind of forgot where I was going with that whole conversation about YouTubers watching YouTube and stuff, but in a nutshell, I think what I was trying to say is that, you know, I've played Legacy Console Edition for a really long time, and I was so sad to hear that it had been discontinued and replaced by Bedrock Edition. I still haven't forgiven Microsoft for that one, and Mojang to an extent. I know they're just doing their best, Mojang, that is, but man, it really just sucks. But I've, you know, heard about 4J Studios making their new Reforge game, which looks like it could be pretty fun when that finally comes out. But I still do really love this version. It's not quite new. Oh, there's a wandering trader over there. You go see what he's got. You know, this version is the perfect balance between new and old, in my opinion. Some people might disagree, and, you know, that's fine. They might say 1.13 was kind of like the bridge between the old and new, 1.12, maybe even 1.9 when they added the new combat stuff. Yeah, for me and for my purposes and just for my own enjoyment, this is like the perfect version. And it's the most up-to-date Legacy Console Edition, which is always nice. It's got the updated textures, which I understand is a little bit of a touchy topic for people in the community. Me, personally, I overall prefer the new look. You know, for example, like the old wheat texture just kind of looked piss yellow, and I didn't really like that too much. And so when they updated it to the more golden yellow, I actually thought that was a really nice change. But it's funny because a lot of people seem to not like the new texture, right? So, you know, you win some, you lose some, and you're not going to be able to please everybody with that. But me personally, I think they did a good job with the retexturing. And I'm very happy that it's available on this version because I like the look of it, and I enjoy using it. I prefer it. But yeah, so that more or less, actually, believe it or not, covers pretty much everything that I've built in this world so far. Like I said, it's not a whole lot, you know, but I obviously just haven't spent as much time as you might think for somebody who's had this world for like a year. It really does not look like a year's worth of progress has been made here. It's just I'm too busy a lot of times to play on this world, but it is what it is, and I do intend to play more moving forward. And if you want to learn more about that, then feel free to check out my other video or other videos if you're watching this at a later date, because that will be about the main point of this channel and me restarting or, you know, continuing to play on this world. If you're interested in that topic and that content, you know, it's regarding addressing my long-term issues with weight and health and blood pressure, that kind of thing. But yeah, if that's not your thing, then that's okay. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I do intend on making other videos like this where it's just completely unscripted and just either talking about whatever topic I want to talk about, or maybe just playing the game and chatting about my week. If you guys want to hear some random guy talk about his week, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the kids are into these days. The last thing I heard was something about a 6 and a 7. I don't know how to end this video. I guess I'll just go ahead and give you guys what I think is one of the best views of this world. Oh, right. I actually, really quick before I finish off here, I wanted to talk about this little mountain face that you can see on the side here, because I do have a plan for that. It's, in a nutshell, I plan to have a sort of like fortress or castle kind of built into this mountainside, and, you know, kind of going up further, obviously. I can envision it somewhat in my mind, but envisioning it and then actually like going through with building it is a different beast entirely. So if you guys have any suggestions or ideas on that, I would very much appreciate that. And if there's a specific type of video that you want to see, or something you want to hear me talk about, or maybe something you want me to build even, feel free to share that in the comments below. I will be making sure to read all of the comments that come in, or as many of them as I can anyway, but ideally all of them, because I enjoy any feedback that comes my way. That's always nice. I always like it when people take the time to share their thoughts and opinions about creative works, right? So I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. So with that said, let me give you guys a good view here, or what I believe is one of the best views that you can get in this world currently, which is just right here, just like this. Obviously, it's not complete yet, but it's a work in progress, and I'll go ahead and even change the settings so that the interface is gone. Give it 1 second. There we go. Other than that, looks nice. So with that, thank you once again for watching this video. And if you liked it, please leave a like. And subscribe if you want to see more content from from me, or, you know, from this channel in general, I guess. There's nobody else on this channel. I don't know why I specified that. Me and the other personalities. Right. With that, take care, and see you next time.
I am placing blocks and shit 'cause I'm in fucking Minecraft. I am placing blocks and shit 'cause I'm in fucking Minecraft. Oh,